So the 2023 Sunday Scout has had a few small changes versus the 2022 bike. The biggest difference being that the price actually came down a little bit. It was $509 in 2022 and now it's $499. I didn't recommend this bike in 2022 and I definitely don't recommend it now. There wasn't any significant price drop. I mean, $9 isn't much. It's still in the $500 price range and they didn't add any quality as far as I can tell. It's still an overpriced bike, okay? But we're gonna go through this review. I'm gonna keep it short because here's the thing, here's the point. You can quit watching after this, but I really don't recommend the Sunday Scout. You can spend a little bit more and get the Sunday Forecaster, which is a much better bike for $80 more. You can spend the same amount of money and get the Kink Gap, which is a much better bike for the same price. You have multiple options. There's no reason to buy the Sunday Scout, okay? It's that simple. Now, if you like the colors, you like Sunday, you just want the Scout just because, okay, go crazy, right? But you don't be mad at me if you buy it and you realize that you overpaid for this bike. Okay, but let's get into it. Let's talk about the Sunday Scout. I'll explain exactly why I have such strong feelings about not buying it, and let's get right into it. Now, one thing that the bike does have going for it is its weight. It's gonna weigh 26.8 pounds. And like I said already, the price is $499. You are able to upgrade this bike. Everything on it is fully upgradable and customizable. The Sunday Scout doesn't come with any pegs or any hub guards, but it does come with a standard set of U-brakes, so it does have brakes on it. You can remove the brakes and take them off if riding brakeless is your thing, or you can keep them on and ride with brakes. It's totally up to you. This bike has 4 different options. You're gonna need to choose between a 20.75-inch hot pink color option, a 20.75-inch sage green option, a 21-inch matte mustard, and a 21-inch matte black. Those are your options for this bike. But like I said, you shouldn't be worrying about that because I really don't think you should buy it. If you're looking at the Sunday Scout and you're like, oh man, I was gonna buy this bike, but now here I am telling you not to buy it, I do a free bike recommendation. So just click this button up here on the screen and request a free bike recommendation. It's gonna give me more information about you as a bike rider and help me understand exactly what bike is right for you. I'll send you a link with 3 bikes that I think are perfect for you. I promise the Scout won't be on there because I'm gonna find you bikes that are around the same price with much better quality. So make sure you do that. So the sizing of the bike, I talked about the 20.75 and the 21-inch options. The 20.75-inch option is going to be best for those riders who are between 5'9" and 6 foot. If you're in between there, that size is the size that you should get. And the 21-inch option is best for riders who are over 6 foot. If you're over 6'3" or over 6'4", I'd recommend a 21.25 or taller instead of the 21, but the general recommendation for the 21 is over 6 foot. Okay, aside from the top tube size, there are other geometries on the frame. These geometries include the 75.5 degree head tube angle, the 9-inch standover height, the 13.2 to 13.5 inch chainstay length, and the 11.5 bottom bracket height. These geometries are a little bit different than most BMX bikes that you're gonna see. The 75.5 degree head tube angle is a little bit more responsive than normal. This is a steeper head tube angle. It's gonna help you get into nose manuals and it's gonna make steering respond a lot quicker than it would if it was a 75 degree head tube angle. The chainstay length, in my opinion, is a little bit on the longer side. If you run this chainstay completely slammed, it's gonna be about 13.2 inches, which is longer than 13, and that's pretty long. Okay, over 13 is technically long, under 13 is going to be a short responsive chainstay. If you run this back wheel all the way out to the back, it's going to be closer to 13.5, making it a very long chainstay, and essentially this is going to give you stability and control. It's going to be harder to pull the back wheel up and get in, or pull the front wheel up and get into manuals or pull up for a bunny hop, but once you do pull back, it's going to be a lot more stable. And the 11.5 inch bottom bracket height is a tenth of an inch, a tiny bit lower than average. Generally, you're gonna see 11.6, so the 11.5 is just a little bit smaller and it's gonna give this bike a more stable feeling because your feet are lower to the ground, but honestly, it's not that much and it shouldn't make that big of a difference. The handlebars are 9 inches tall with a 28.5 inch width. This 28.5 inch width is what I recommend most people ride if they're into bar spin. I'll tell you a story real quick. I do a lot of bar spins and one of my friends is doing bar spins and he's like, Doug, I can't bar spin. My bars are too long. And I said, shut up. That's an excuse. You can bar spin. Let me see this bike. I did a bar spin. I hit my knee with the bars and I crashed. And I said, okay, never mind. These bars are absolutely too long. And so that kind of shattered my whole belief there that bars can't be too long. They absolutely can be. 28 28.5 inches wide is a good width. It balances your stability, so you still have a nice steering response, but they're not crazy long and they don't make bar spins impossible. So I do like the fact that the bars on this bike are 28.5 inches wide. It has a Sunday Freeze top load stem with 48 millimeters of reach. I've ridden this stem for a very long time. It's cheap, it's light, and it's a really good stem. The gear ratio on this bike is 25/9. It's got a 25-tooth sprocket, a 9-tooth driver, and everything is on the right-hand side. So let's get into the quality. This is the biggest reason that I say this bike is overpriced. One, it's not good quality. Two, it's way too expensive. When we look at the frame, the only good quality piece of tubing that we have is the down tube. The down tube and the dropouts are full chromoly, while the top tube, the head tube, the standover, the chainstay, all of those are high tensile steel. High tensile steel is about 4 times weaker than chromoly, and I will point out, the full chromoly down tube isn't terrible, and generally with high tensile steel frames, the down tube is what bends. If you nose case something, if you disaster, like all that pressure is put onto the down tube, so throwing a chromoly down tube on the Sunday Scout is a smart move. It gives the bike a little bit more strength without costing Sunday a lot more. The problem here is the $500 price tag. The Fly Electron is the exact same quality here for like $399, okay, so $100 less. And anyway, what I'm getting at is the down tube is the only good piece of tubing on this bike, and it's way overpriced. Okay, anyway, we'll stay away from that. Frame has a chromoly down tube. The bars are full high tensile steel. The forks are full high tensile steel with a 2-piece steer tube. The cranks are 8-spline, 3-piece, full chromoly cranks. They're chunky, but they are decent quality. I'd say the cranks are probably one of the best quality things on this bike. And then the rims are cheap single wall aluminum rims. You want to have double wall rims if you weigh over like 130 pounds, because you're going to be putting a lot of stress on the rims when you learn spins and when you do jumps. And if you're a heavier guy, if you're not a teeny tiny guy, those single wall rims are going to fold. And it's just something that happens, and I want you guys to be prepared for that. If you are riding single wall rims, especially these aluminum ones, they're not gonna last for you if you're weighing over 130 pounds. Okay, so let me hit you guys with the honest truth real quick. The Sunday Scout is overpriced. I can give you a big long list of bikes that are better quality or similar quality for the same price or less, okay? If you buy the Sunday Scout, sadly, you're overpaying. Now, there are other bikes in Sunday's lineup. I was very impressed with the Forecaster this year because they added quality to it and they brought the price down a little bit. The Sunday Forecaster is a pretty good, I mean, it's expensive, but it's a pretty good deal. Sunday, I love Sunday. I think you should support Sunday, but the Scout is not the bike that you should buy. If you were smart and you requested a free bike recommendation, I will be able to find you some bikes that are perfect for you based off your height and everything like that. The Scout won't be on there. It just won't, because I don't recommend this bike at all. And there's very few bikes that I say that about. Most bikes I can say, well, look, if you're a really small rider, this is a good choice. If you're into park riding, this is a good choice. But the Scout doesn't have anything going for it. It's just overpriced, and it's as simple as that. I will say I like the weight of the bike and I love the color options, but that's it. And those things don't matter. You can find light bikes with nice color options for better value, okay? That simple. Check out the Dougsterbob app if you want to be able to analyze all 90 different BMX bikes on your own. Otherwise, check out any review that pops up at the end of this video. YouTube thinks that this one's a good one for you, and hit the subscribe button. We'll see you guys in the next video.